Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So it's the first Saturday of a brand new month, which means that it's a brand new mission inspiration. Now this month the prompts have been set by another guest mission controller. In this case it's Peg Adkins Robinson. These are Peg's prompts and I'm going to create an 8-inch gallery wrap canvas using the prompts and the colour scheme and possibly one of the words that Peg has set for the month. So I'll show you Peg's mission brief first, and then I'll do my project, and then I'll join with you again at the end. But don't forget, if you want to join in with the mission inspiration this month, then all you have to do is to pop along to our Facebook group. I'll put the link on the screen and in the description area below this video. So let's get on with the project, and I will see you again right back at the end.
Welcome, Art Agent Specialists. This is your mission controller, and your mission for September, should you choose to accept it, is Number 1. Create a background with alcohol or surgical spirits and ink. Number 2. Paint without a brush. Number 3. Use a household item. Number 4. Create a resist with a gel medium and stencil. Number 5. Spray, drop, or blow on ink. Number 6. Add a geometric shape or two. Number 7. Use some metallic shimmer or glitter. Number 8. Add an element from nature. The words for suggested words are villain, vagabond, venture, valor, and vision. And the suggested color scheme for this month is potting soil, aquamarine, and vermilion. Good luck! This video will self-destruct in 3 seconds.
So for step number 1, we have create a background with alcohol, surgical spirits, and ink. Okay, so I haven't got any surgical spirits, but the nearest alcohol I can find is this alcohol blending solution from Ranger, part of their Adirondack, or Adirondack, depending on which way you want to call the mountain range. So that's part of their range for the inks. Now I also have some alcohol inks here. Now I have latte, caramel, teakwood, and I've also got a copper. Now, because one of the colours here is potting soil, I don't have a potting soil alcohol ink, so I'm going to use a combination of these 4 different browns to create my background. Now, experimental background on a canvas. This is an 8-inch, it's not very deep, gallery wrap canvas, but it's pre-gessoed, and I have a piece of cosmetic sponge underneath, and I'm just going to drop the canvas on just to create a kind of support for the canvas underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop some alcohol ink directly onto the canvas, and then I'm going to spritz over the top using a spritz bottle where I've already put in some of this alcohol blending solution to see what happens to all the inks as they blend and wick together, and then I'm going to dry them. Now, because I'm using alcohol solution and I'm also using alcohol inks, I'm going to open the window in my craft room, because this is something that I don't want to do in a closed room. I want plenty of ventilation, because otherwise I'm going to either get high or I'm going to pass out. And I'm also going to fortify myself with coffee during the process. So, here we go. So there's the canvas, all dry, looking rather good. Now, because that copper one didn't really come out all that well, I think it may be too old, I'm going to use copper paint for step number 2. So we have paint without a brush. So I'm going to bring in some Miss Moneypenny copper metallic paint from Indigo Blue, and I've given it a good shake, which means that there will be a small amount of paint in the lid. Et voila! So what I'm going to do is, instead of using a brush, I'm going to use an ink blending foam, and I'm going to load up the sponge just by dabbing down and loading up that sponge so that it soaks in. So I have a circle, a disc now. So I'm going to randomly just put down and twist using that copper paint. So add some circles with that copper paint into the canvas. Including just going off the sides. And then I can do the same just there, and maybe one at this side. So keeping that circular theme, and if I need to load back up again, which I probably do, close the lid of the Indigo Blue paint, give it another shake, which is then going to load the bottom part of that lid again, and then I can reload up my sponge with that paint, and I can carry on adding a few of those circles, and it doesn't really matter where I put them because it is a kind of random pattern. I even put 2 together there and 2 together there, and then maybe just one on the side there. So we've got a little bit of that paint showing through on each of the sides. 2, and maybe half of one there. So I'm now going to give that a blast with the heat gun, clear this and tidy up, and then we'll be back for step number 3. So for step number 3, it says use a household item. Well, I've got some string. Just see it. This is bog standard garden twine. I think this is hemp. So what I've done, just to save a little bit of time, is I've already created 2 little bundles. So I've cut 3 pieces of string, and I'm going to create a couple of loops with that, and then I've got some copper floristry wire, and I'm just going to wrap loosely the wire around the string, just to kind of create a little bundle effect, but I'm not tying it too tight and allowing the copper. So I've got some that still hang out, I've got some that I've wrapped completely around, and I'm going to create a little bit of a bundle over here onto the canvas. I'm not going to stick them down just yet, so because we have a couple more steps that I want to go through before I actually stick these down, because we've also got to add in a few other bits and pieces. Now, step number 7 says use some metallic shimmer or glitter. Well, I've already used copper and copper wire, but I'm also going to use some gold as well in a moment. So for step number 4, it says create a resist with a gel medium and stencil. So I need to do that first before I stick these down. So I've created my items with the household item for step number 3. So for step number 4, I now need to grab a stencil and some clear gel medium. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my super thick Slap-It-On, which is gloss gel medium from Indigo Blue. Still plenty left. I have a spatula. So I'm just going to take some of that gloss gel medium, put some, sponges getting in the way, put some of that onto my desktop, like so. And then the stencil I'm going to use is my Rondell stencil. So this is my own stencil, my own design, which is available on my website now. So because I already got circles in the background there, I'm going to do some circles here. I'm going to go across like so. So I'm going to grab the gel medium. I've got that bit of support underneath, and then I'm just going to drag those across. I'm not too bothered about getting a totally even coverage on top. Not particularly bothered about that. As long as I get basic shapes as they disappear off, that'll do. There we go. Of course, I'll now need to go and wash that straight away, and this is going to take quite some time to dry. So this is obviously white when it's wet, but when it dries, it will go completely clear. That's the theory. So I'm going to go and wash this, get the heat gun on that, and I'll be back when all this is dry. But I'll just start the heating process now. Okay, so as you can see, the majority of that gel medium has now dried. There's still one or two areas where it hasn't gone completely clear just yet, but that's okay. I really haven't got time just to leave it to dry overnight because I need to get the video finished for tomorrow morning. But you can see, there you go, there's that lovely shine from the gel medium right the way across the canvas. So absolutely beautiful. So it catches the light just marvellous. So moving on to the next step then. So we've got spray, drop or blow on ink. Okay, so let's just bring that back. Now I also want to bring in another one of these colours now. So I've got aquamarine. Now the nearest colour that I've got to that in an ink is the Adirondack Pool, so I'm going to use that instead. So what I've done is I've decanted a very, very small amount into one of my fine applicator bottles, and I'm just going to put one or two drops. I'm not going to go mad with this, just to create a little bit of an addition of colour, if you know what I mean. Almost like a little bit of patination, just in a couple of areas around, like so. And then maybe just even drop one or two on the sides, just to give it that little bit of additional colour. Oop. There we go, one on this side. There we go. Don't want to go mad with it. So I've got a little bit more of that ink left, the blending solution. So I'm just going to spray that on, just to kind of give it a little bit of an impetus. Now, obviously it's going to react with the brown, the warm colours, and go slightly greenish, so but that's just the nature of the beast. Okay. Creates a nice kind of effect. You can see where it's going around with the bubbles there, look. Okay, so step number 6, add a geometric shape or two. So Because we've already got circles with the copper and circles with my gel medium rondelles, I have a small circle punch. Now this is approximately, let's see, in inches we're talking, it's just slightly over half an inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 5/8. So it's a 5/8 circle punch, and in ordinary terms it's 1.5 centimeters. And I have some old book text. Well, it's not actually book text, it's from a sewing pan. Oh look, don't tell me that this punch doesn't work. Why have I got it if it doesn't work? Okay, fail number 1. Let's see what else we can find. Too big, too big. I'll back in a sec. Three-quarters of an inch circle punch, Stampin' Up. So I'm going to just pop out 3 of those, and I can hear the pitter-patter of tiny feet running up the stairs. Does that mean that there's a Mr. Bentley come to see me? Possibly. So that's the 3/8 circle punch punched out of there. And I'm going to, because that's turned kind of greenish, I'm just going to take some of that leftover alcoholing and just put some drops on there. Give those a quick blast. Could have used book text or anything on here. Doesn't really matter. So I could have used book text or anything. So now we've got those. I have some matte medium, acrylic matte medium. And I'm just going to put a little bit down on there, because I'm not going to need a lot. Little brush. Keep forgetting that sponge is under there. And then I'm just going to glue some of these around. Just to satisfy the prompts. Don't want many. And one more down towards the bottom, just to kind of create a little bit of a pull round for the eye. There. That'll do. So let's get that dried off. Okay, so geometric shape or 2. So next we've got use some metallic shimmer or glitter. Okay, I'm actually going to swap these 2 around. I want to add my final elements from nature, and then I'm going to add some metallic shimmer or glitter, because I want to add the shimmer or glitter to the elements from nature. So what I've done is I've been out into my garden and I've pulled out some twigs. I've taken some twigs from my cherry tree, my big cherry tree, and I'm going to, using the gloss gel medium, I'm going to stick these down onto the canvas as best I can anyway. So I'm going to be using quite a bit, and I've created a couple of bundles of the twigs like so, and then I've also wrapped up some of the twine that you saw earlier. Use the twine and wrapped some of that copper floristry wire around there too. So I've actually got some of that metallic shimmer or glitter in there already anyway. And I'm going to just lay these kind of like so and create a kind of L-shaped pattern there. So maybe a big one, smaller, then smaller to create a kind of stepping down. And then I have another piece of that twine that I created it just in case, but I think I'll just cut that off there because I might even just add that into there, into the mix. So, the first thing that I need to do is to get rid of this matte gel medium off my workspace here because I'm not going to need that anymore because I'm going to use the gloss gel. So I'll just give that a wipe. I've still got the gloss gel here. There you go. Super thick slap it on. And I've still got a spatula. Another spatula, so I can start adding those elements onto my canvas. And again, this is going to take a while to dry because that's just the nature of the beast. So find the resting point, how it rests best on which side. There, that seems to be the best. So I'm going to put a bead of the gel medium like so. Don't forget this does dry completely clear as we've seen across there. So like that. And the next bunch, which was kind of flat anyway, so add some along there, and then I can lay that down. Okay, so we may need a little bit more of that glue underneath. That's it. That's not going to move anywhere. And then the smaller bundle, I can hear Mr. Bentley trying to burrow on my bed. There we go. He's nesting. And then I'm going to add some of that glue to the back of that bundle, and then I'm going to drop that that's it there, and then I can add this twine piece underneath. I did say I was going to add that up there, didn't I? Like so. Let me just move that further up then. And then what I can do is just remove the excess. Like I said, it will go completely transparent anyway. Just like that. Okay, so what I need to do now is to give this a really good blast with the heat gun to get that glue set in so that I can continue and add in my final step, which is the word that I'm going to use from here, and I've chosen the word venture. So I'm going to get that dried and then I'll be right back to add that. Okay, so they're kind of drying now. The glue's already started to grab and hold and take a grab, so I just need to add in one of the words now. So I'm going to go for venture. And I'm going to put that along here. Now I've got some alpha chips from Tim Holtz. So I'm going to add those along here. Try and get the word in. So I'm going to lay it down first. And it doesn't matter if I get the words or the letters. Oops, excuse me. It's my email coming through, or an email coming through. So I can get the right space in. And then we can get them stuck down. So I think they need to go a little bit higher and a bit further in. So start over here. They're a bit fiddly. Follow the line of the bubbles as well. That should work quite nicely, just like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them down using the Tombow mono liquid, or the aqua liquid glue. And I'm going to do it just individually, one by one. So I just put a blob of glue on the back, and then I've got something I'm going to lift that string up with. Pop it out of the way and then drop that down, because it doesn't grab straight away. It does give you a little bit of wiggle room, and if it gets in the way I can just grab my scissors and just snip it off later on, or I could just do that now actually. There we go. Put the guide back on, so that's the E down. You don't need a lot. Nice. I don't know whether you can hear that, but there's a fly buzzing around. It's been a fairly sort of warmish day today, so I've had the windows and everything open, and also because of the alcohol, it's just flown in. Funny if it landed on the canvas. Well, it was supposed to be an element from nature. Better. Don't want it all lined up. I want it a little bit raggy. Mr. Bentley's coming chasing now. What? Are you coming for that fly? Go and chase it over there. Good lad. Okay, so now we've got the word stuck down. I just have one more thing to do, so let's just go through the steps first of all. So creating a background with alcohol, yes, we've done that. Painting without a brush, yes, we did that because we used the sponge. Using a household item, we used string from the garden, so technically household item. Creating a resist with gel medium and stencil. We have my lovely resisted gel medium bubbles. Spray, drop or blow on ink. Well, we dropped the pool colour, add a geometric shape or two. So we have our geometric circles that we've added. Add some metallic shimmer or glitter. I did say I was going to add that later. So add an element from nature, twigs. So we've got the glimmer and metallic shimmer. So we've got the metal copper anyway that are wrapped around the string. And then the elements from nature, we've got the twigs from the garden. So, but I've got no red in this. So what I wanted to do using those Adirondack alcohol inks. Now, I just want to do 1 or 2 tiny little drops of, now I've got red pepper or I've got watermelon. So I'm thinking, what else have we got in here? There's also cranberry. I think the cranberry is going to be a little bit too dark. I think the watermelon is probably going to be light enough just for it to blend into those warm tones. So I just want to add a little touch, let's see if I can get the lid off, a little touch of that onto the string. Oh, just there. See, that's just dropped onto the string. And a little bit there. It may even tint the gel medium. Just to add a little bit of extra colour. Maybe even on those twigs. Oh, I'll drag my fingers all the way through it, look. What an idiot. Where's my wet wipes? There we go. Okay, I've just realised that I've been filming without one of my lights switched on. Duh. But anyway, as you can see now, you can see a bit more in detail those bits down there. Right. Glitter. Gold stickles. Adding some shimmer. A little bit of shimmer. So I'm just going to add a little bit. Just onto those bits of string. And a little bit onto the twigs. But not a lot. Just the merest hint. I don't want to make it look like a winter scene by adding too much on. Just want to give it a little bit more, just a little bit of twinkle. But just use it sparingly. I think actually that will do. Just a tiny bit. Okay, I think I'm going to call that done. So let's just quickly have a look. So browns, blues, reds, it's near enough. So alcohol ink background, painting with a brush, sponge, using a household item string, creating resist, yeah, I've got the bubbles, spray drops, I've dropped the blue into the background, add a geometric shape, we've got the circles, using some metallic shimmer and glitter, so we've got the copper wire, and we've also got the gold. But we also use copper paint anyway, so I think we've overdone that on the metallic. And adding an element from nature, so we've got the twigs and the natural twine as well. And then we've added the word venture. So I think that is mission accomplished. And I'll take some photographs once all this gel stuff here has actually dried and disappeared into the background. So the following still pictures of the project will have that hopefully gone. So quite a challenging mission inspiration, well, particularly for me this month anyway. Very much stepping outside of my comfort zone with adding all those elements onto that canvas. So thank you, Peg, for those fantastic prompts for the month of September, and I'm sure that everybody's going to have lots of fun figuring out how to incorporate all those into an art journal or mixed media project. So as I said before, Don't forget, if you want to join in with the Mission Inspiration monthly challenges, all you have to do is to pop along to our Facebook group. Again, the link is on screen and in the description area below, and click to join. And that's pretty much it. I think there are a couple of questions just to make sure now that you are a real person and not a spammer. But once you've answered those questions, then usually you get accepted pretty quickly into the group. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this Mission Inspiration art project. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share the video with all your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now.